What things are normal for Americans but weird for non-Americans? What's the most illegal thing that you've ever done? What is the scariest dream that has stuck with you? My father and I are in a truck driving along a highway to the beach. That is when I feel an extreme dread and we look up and see a black hole coming from the sky and everything is turning black. In the dream, I realized that not only were we about to die, but everything we have ever known, all memories and experiences will fade into non-existence for all of time. It felt worse than death to know everything was going to be gone and there was no hope for any semblance of anything. My dad and I turned to each other to give each other a hug, and right when the black hole reaches us, I jump out of bed, out of breath. Mine is dark. I'm in a plexiglass box watching myself burn alive. Wow. Whoa! I walk into a party and saw a bunch of people that were super familiar. The house was very high-end fancy. It seemed like it was in California and the entrance was in an alleyway. After a few minutes, everyone started having sex and asked me if I wanted to join. I was really confused, and next thing I know, I'm being pinned down on the couch by a black mass and I'm screaming. My eyes open and the black mass was still on top of me, which was also the first and only time I had sleep paralysis. Confusing dream, but has stuck with me for a while. That is the most kinky sleep paralysis demon I've heard of, but it's still scary. I was in my room in the dream and everything was basically indistinguishable from reality. It felt just like my normal day-to-day reality when I looked out my window and there was a clown on stilts in my backyard staring straight at me. I'm not even consciously scared of clowns, but that was so spooky. I had a reoccurring dream when I was young of falling out of the car and then falling down a small cliff to the bank of a lake in my town. I would then watch as the car continued driving away, not realizing I had fallen out. Caused me to have abandonment issues growing up, even though I was never abandoned in real life. Dream just seemed real when I was young. Strangely enough, it's always about situations I once was in that never want to be in again. It's different occasionally, but right now it's this dream where I'm back in high school, have no money, and don't have the skills to do my current trade that I enjoy doing, and I'm just sleeping away through every class, feeling like my life is being wasted. When I was a kid, I dreamt that a big chicken ate my entire family, and I woke up crying. It's funny, but I can't forget that dream until now, and I'm already 27. What do you refuse to wear? Any clothing that has a large brand name printed on it somewhere. I don't do free advertising for anyone. Crop tops. A mullet for a hairstyle. Just no. I don't know, some people can really pull off the mullet. That's a lie. Nobody can. Crocs. Same. I'm willing to die alone on this hill. And die alone you will, because Crocs are awesome. I love my Crocs. Ripped jeans for fashion. Bras. As a man, I agree. Velvet. Ever since I was a kid, just looking at the velvet texture gives me a queasy feeling. I have no idea why, but it's always been an immediate no for me. Socks and sandals. Thongs. They're too uncomfortable and I do not want to struggle with wedgies. Nike, because of slave labor. What was really freaking awesome, but is no longer available? The 1990s. Hypercolor clothing. Concerts without everyone recording on their phones. Lay's cream cheese and chive kettle cooked chips. They were like sour cream and onions' cooler brother, and I'm so bummed they are gone. I've never heard of those before, but that sounds super good. My ex-girlfriend's well, no longer available for me. You messed up, John Simph. You messed up. Chillin' at Toys R Us. Jalapeno cheddar 3D Doritos. Frowny face. The old Coke. We talking about cocaina? Huh? The capability to purchase safe living space and decent medical care for your family. Yellow Cow. Banana flavored syrup for milk. Dine-in Pizza Huts. Man, I miss those dimly lit hut buildings and their textured red plastic cups. When the pizza was actually alright, or at least I was young enough to think it was. Matches you could light with one hand using your thumbnail. Redditors who were constantly on a kid leash growing up. How are you now? Did that affect you in the long run? My husband's parents had him on a leash because he was a very energetic and inquisitive child with a tendency to dart off. When he behaved himself and stayed with the group, he got to hold his own leash. Lol. No long-term effects, except I still prefer to lap water out of a bowl on the floor. Good girl. Ew. That reply gave me the freaking heebie-jeebies. My mom used to put me on a leash attached to a clothesline in the backyard when I was a baby or toddler. I had to unlearn eating bugs when I went to school. In the long run, I doubt it had much effect. Sorry, that just mental image of a leash going up and down a clothesline with a kid attached to it is just funny. I've since been diagnosed with ADHD and also still wander off when I go to a store with my mom. Now she just texts me if she can't find me instead of keeping me leashed as a grown adult. I would sure hope so. Can't believe the muzzle never caught on. Kid bites are the worst. I was a leash baby. I don't remember it and it doesn't bother me. Hell, I wish more people use kid leashes. It's just practical. I'm seeing a pattern where where everyone that was on a leash sees no issues with it, which is interesting, but also completely insane. What's the weirdest thing about your body? It farts more than most bodies do. I get goosebumps when I'm sad. I am literally incapable of tanning. I've tried everything. Tanning booths, oils, laying in the sun all day. I will just lobster, and then it all peels off to my bleach white skin. I have to fake tan, and I spend quite a bit on fake tanning lotions. Why do you need to fake tan? Just don't tan, lol. I have an inverted nipple. One foot is a whole size larger than the other. The fact that my hair length is almost to my waist, but it looks shoulder length. Shrinkage. I was born with blonde hair and green eyes, and at age 5, after summer break, I had brown hair and hazel eyes. My friends didn't recognize me in kindergarten, and I apparently cried. I didn't believe my mom until she showed me additional pictures. I apparently morphed bodies as a child. Genetics are weird. My hands from the side are weirdly massive. I can vibrate my eyes. Voluntary nystagmus. Me too. I never knew the name. I'm pretty sure it's just considered a superpower. Palms sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on his sweater already, mom spaghetti. He's nervous. How do you forgive yourself and move on from a mistake you made? You can't change the past, just take it as a lesson and learn from it. In my experience, you need to learn and accept that you did your best with the emotional tools you have at that moment. Then, strive to be better and be kind to yourself. Your past mistakes don't define you, keep on fighting. Nothing can stop me from cringing at mistakes I made decades ago as I lie awake at 3 a.m. I don't think I've ever related to a post more. Realize that no one on earth is even half as hard on you as you are. You are your own worst critic, and no one thinks as little of you as you do. We all like you, so I think you should like you too. Remind yourself that hindsight is and all you can really do is take it as a lesson and learn from it. That's one of the most courageous things we can do as humans. Whenever I think of past mistakes, I tell myself that they were good learning experiences and that they will help me not make those type of mistakes in the future. So they actually made me a better person. That was such a wholesome thread. You'll love to see it. What is your happiest memory you will never get back? In primary school, there was this one loud, obnoxious, bossy girl in my class that nobody liked, but everybody feared. One day, she was loudly ordering kids to line up straighter in the playground, and a seagull on her face. It was loud, made a massive splat, and she opened her mouth in surprise. It splattered into her mouth. It was glorious. I'm smiling as I type this. That sounds so satisfying to watch that happen to somebody you don't like. Oh. Going to Toys R Us and being surrounded by aisles and aisles of toys, and I still have dreams about it. Laughing with my grandma. Of course, is the school time. Now think about past really stupid. Only know study, do not know to enjoy. What the hell does that mean? Is this r/I had a stroke? Or what? Or am I still on AskReddit? Oh my god. At 40, there are a lot of happy memories and not so happy ones. Probably seeing my son being born or getting to marry my wife. One that stands out is 19 years ago when an ex-girlfriend and I took her dog for a walk. Not sure why it always stands out, but it was a warm spring evening, sun was setting, and it was a really nice walk. But for some reason, it's always stuck in my head. Going to a water park when I was 6 with my parents. The first time I bought a sugar cone, vanilla ice cream, chocolate dipped, and rolled in sprinkles. With my own money. I was never allowed to get a sugar cone. What's the biggest red flag you ignored? People always ask why I'm dating you because of how you look. He broke me down so bad, I'm still picking myself back up years later. He showed up with one black garbage bag of his belongings, but said it was because his place burnt down. Our place must have burnt down as well, because he left with a black garbage bag of his belongings a little over a year later. I had a crush my first semester of college. He didn't like me talking to his friends and got mad at me for adding them back on Snapchat, but I didn't think anything of it. Turns out he was talking to 20 other Asian girls and wanted to make sure none of them were talking to other dudes so it's easier to control them. Also, he sent me videos of himself flexing his muscles, and at the time I found it flirty, but now looking back on it, it came off as kind of shallow. You had 21 girls? This one dude talking to 21 different girls. How do you do that? How does that happen? He hadn't actually told his ex that they were broken up, just that they needed to take a break. I should have taken a break too at that point. I just have a flirty personality. Why can't people accept that? Gaslighting. It's crazy how long I let it go before I even realized. And even still, it took years of reflection to fully recognize how bad it was. I thought he put me on a pedestal, but really it was the box. Never be anyone's everything. They once bragged about how they knew how to twist the knife. At the time, I just brushed it off, but needless to say, it didn't end well. People will tell you who they are. You just have to listen. When they promised me transferable skills that would pay off in the workforce. Yeah, sure, that's what they all say. What do you daydream about? Big goth mommy GF. Don't we all? The fantasy book I'm never gonna write. Hey, write that book. Sit down, brainstorm, at least write a synopsis or something. Get the juices flowing. Having passive income big enough that I can travel around the world and not care about to pay for. Excessive amounts of violence. You're weird. Why do you daydream about that, you freak? Mr. Beast gave me $1 million. Definitely winning the lottery. Oh, God, I wish. What I wouldn't do to win the lottery. I could buy a house house of my own and then just do this for a living. It'd be awesome. Staying home with my kids and raising them instead of sending them to daycare. At the moment, upcoming Disney trip, a Dungeons and Dragons game I'm about to run, and my boyfriend will be proposing soon. So that too. Memes I plan on sending to my friends, and also funny things I have to tell them, Lamau. I don't know if that counts. Surely it does. Stopping time to take a nap, read books, play games, explore hobbies, etc. What's your favorite movie in 2022? Bullet Train. I really enjoyed Barbarian. The Batman. Either Elvis, Bullet Train, or Everything Everywhere All at Once. Top Gun Maverick. Scream 5. Movies are a very specific thing with emotional qualities attached, so not saying best, but my favorite movie has been Nope. Prey and Ambulance were also really good, but it didn't sell me the same way. I honestly enjoyed Hello Darling. Wakanda Forever was my personal favorite this year so far, but you know. Which celebrity or artist was your childhood crush? Angie Dickinson, Stevie Nicks, or Adrienne Barbeau? I was 10 or 11 when Van Helsing and Need for Speed Most Wanted came out in 2004 or 5, so Josie Moran. Jennifer Connelly. It isn't a crush. We love each other. She has just been playing hard to get for the last 30 years. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Edward Furlong in the Terminator 2 movie. I'm aging myself here. Pink Power Ranger Kimberly. Jessica Alba in Fantastic Four. Natalie Portman. Anne Hathaway. What's a TV show you're sick of hearing about? Friends. It's been analyzed and discussed to death. Riverdale. The Bachelor. The Big Bang Theory. Terrible show that didn't age well. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I mean, why? Euphoria. Stranger Things. If I had a penny, for every time a dude begged me to watch Breaking Bad and Entourage, I'd be a gazillionaire. What is the greatest film trilogy of all time? This is gonna be a controversial thread. Let's see what people gotta say. I feel like OP is baiting Star Wars fans and Lord of the Ring fans into a fight. That's what I was thinking. The increasingly inaccurately named Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy. Home Alone 2, The Good Son. Planes, trains, and automobiles. The Evil Dead trilogy forkin' slaps. Before sunrise, before sunset, before midnight. Back to the Future is a good contender. I don't know if I've said this enough times already in this channel, but I am an avid Back to the Future hater. So, this guy sucks. Back to the Future is weird. It's just a movie about a guy who wants to do his mom. And I mean, there's some good stuff, but otherwise, bad. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End. What things do Americans like and the rest of the world not so much? Cheerleaders, ice, filled to the brim before you pour any drink. People don't like ice? Like, if I had to choose between ice and a chilled glass, I'd probably pick the chilled glass, but like, ice is so much easier. I don't know. Month, day, year, format. Imperial units and Fahrenheit. Ranch dressing. I am a ranch dressing hater. It's gross. It's so not good. Peanut butter and jelly. Now, peanut butter and jelly, I can get behind that. I love me a good peanut butter and jelly, maybe some grape jelly, strawberry jelly. If I'm feeling adventurous, I can even do like some foreign, like some lingonberry jelly. Oh, you know it. Waffles with chicken. It's called chicken and waffles. Please respect our culture. Free soda refills at dine-in places. Who died too young? Mozart died when he was 35. Imagine how much more he could have done with even 10 more years. Jimi Hendrix. Otis Redding died at just 26 years of age. Selena. Robin Williams. My wife's stepdad was Robin's FedEx delivery driver for quite a while. Robin would open the door, chat with him, and crack jokes. Robin deserved to grow really old. River Phoenix. My heart is still broken. Heath Ledger. Steve Irwin. Freddie Mercury. Aaliyah. George Michael. Janis Joplin. What is the meaning of I want a boyfriend like you, but not you? You have qualities that I highly value in a partner, but I don't feel the necessary physical or sexual attraction or spark with you. They aren't attracted to you, but you have really great qualities. You should go with the positive view. You are boyfriend material, but not for that person. Good on you. Move on and find the person you are boyfriend material for. You're nice, but not attractive to me. It means move on. Literally translated. You're my friend, but I don't desire you physically or romantically. I don't want to make this awkward for you because you are my friend. And this must be very painful, but I am just not interested in you that way. And this is the best way I know to offer both of us our dignity. Means I don't want you, but I don't want you to feel bad about it. I'd like to throw out the potential cause. You have the personality for TV, but the face for radio. Stop trying to sleep with your relatives. What? That was a ball into left field. What food is equally good, hot and cold? cold. Cheese. Brownies. Brownies are delicious cold, but I wouldn't go so far as to say equally as delicious when they're hot. Pie. Pecan pie. Hot chocolate and chocolate milk are basically the same thing at different temperatures. Pizza. Fork and come at me. I will eat cold pizza the next day, and everyone acts like I'm eating just straight raw beef. Cold pizza is great. I'm with this guy. I love me some cold pizza. Salmon. Cookies. Pasta salad. Chinese food and the leftovers the day after. Absolutely not. No way is cold Chinese food as good as hot Chinese food. Pop-Tarts. Tea. With the first video game now being 50 years old, what was the first video game you ever played? Mario Bros. On the NES. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Great game, which aged pretty well. Still big fan to the series with 32. Tetris. Super Mario 64. I was so bad that I could not succeed the first level. Space Invaders. Final Fantasy X for the PS2. Nintendogs. Almost 15 years later, I have a dog that looks exactly like the dog I raised in that game. Spyro the Dragon. Crash Bandicoot. Kirby's Adventure for the NES. What is the most unsettling experience you've ever had? Finding a finger wrapped in a newspaper at the bus stop on my way home to work one morning. Oh my god. Ugh. Hearing my father's voice calling my name just before I wake up, half asleep. He passed away in February this year. It absolutely seems real, but it's bone chilling. It happens regularly. I'd recently started a new medication and unfortunately suffered its rarest side effect, hallucinations. I didn't know I was hallucinating. I thought everything going on around me was real. I had a sleep paralysis experience. It was just one time, but it felt like an alien abduction was happening. Like there was some predatory being other than a human coming into my room and doing something to me. Other than that, I've had 2 seizures, one where I couldn't breathe because my diaphragm was seized, so I was suffocating, as well as having fallen onto the ground. Both were unsettling. During an episode, I was having hallucinations. I have a huge painting that is a seascape with seagulls. For some reason, when I looked at the painting, the seagulls looked like evil eyes. I was so scared even though I knew it was just a painting because my mind was playing tricks on me and it was terrifying. Going to sleep and having a dream right away that ends in me feeling like I'm half falling, half sliding into my bed. I wake up all shaken up. It feels so real and it's kind of hard to describe, but I hate when that happens. You get paid $1 for every minute you remain silent. What's your strategy? Don't speak. I feel like that's pretty obvious. Go to sleep. That is the worst answer. You can talk in your sleep, and that counts. That's $10K a week. I'm shutting my happy up. I'm an introvert. That's not even a challenge. Texting. Fair enough. I'm getting a lot of money just living my life. Become an introvert. You are stuck on a 12-hour flight. What famous person would you want to be sitting beside? Someone small who doesn't say a lot. I don't care as long as they don't want to talk to me. Bill Cosby. At least I get some sleep. Oh man, come on. Come on. Leslie Jordan would have been fun to sit next to. Such a sweet soul. Rest in peace. Dave Grohl. He seems like the most down-to-earth type of guy. Awesome musician, so talented in so many ways. Loves music, and he would be the type to chill in economy if that was the only option. Would love to have a beer or 3 with him. My sister's boyfriend met him in a guitar store, and he said, "Oh my god, you're Dave Grohl." And he responded, "Oh my god, you're a dude in a guitar store." Stephen Fry or David Attenborough. Both of them are interesting and both have common sense, enough to know when it's quiet time. Bill Connolly. Pedro Pascal. I only have one question. How much of The Mandalorian did he record from home? Forkin' Ryan Reynolds. Morgan Freeman. Just listening to that voice. Jack Black. What's the most illegal thing that you've ever done? Hold on. This thread is definitely run by cops. This is the least obvious fed. I downloaded a car. Holy crap. Stole someone's Pokemon figure. How dare you? Give it back. Give it back right now. Real ones won't answer. You're damn right. Turn without indicating. I hate you. I hate you. When I was a soldier, I kissed another soldier before it was okay. Huge crime. Can you imagine a gay kiss in the military? In the 90s? What a criminal piece of short I am. I embellished a story on Reddit once. What things are normal for Americans but weird for non-Americans? Writing the date format as month, day, year instead of day, month, year. Seeing a possible serious medical problem with yourself and going, large gaps above, below, and between the bathroom stalls. Having to mentally add sales tax on everything you buy. In Europe, $9.95 means paying $9.95. Paying for college for 30 years after you graduated. My friend attended his cousin's high school graduation in LA a while ago, and he had to go through metal detectors and all that, as if he was going through airport security. So I guess metal detectors at school. Having opinions presented as news. Being too obese to walk. Billboards. There are everywhere in the US, not so much elsewhere. Being afraid of the police. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like. We're getting to that big ol' 100K mark. It's approaching, so make sure you're part of the before 100K gang. That'd be super cool. Have a wonderful day. Bye.